Welcome to my show, simply entitled Women Influencers, where you will find inspirational stories of successful women in business. I am Veronica Malalas, CCIM, founder and CEO of the Capstrata Group of Companies, providing commercial real estate development, brokerage, and property management services in the greater Orlando area. This week, we have another installment of the compiled questions that my guests have asked me in the past. Here are clips from the episodes of Amy Calandrino, Elise Russell, and Christy Gessler. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe below. I welcome your comments and please share with someone who can benefit from this podcast.
Well, I thought, talk about a challenging moment in your career. So I don't think we had a chance to talk about that on my podcast. And I'd just be curious, what do you feel helped to shape you in your career?
When I started my commercial real estate career, it was such a tough, I'd say 5 years for me, because I think that geographically I was so far away from my office, which at that time was in Maitland, and I live in Kissimmee, and I did not engage enough with my office to where I had direction as to what I should be doing. And there were many times, and let me tell you, it was very difficult for me to have worked mostly out of my home, because at that time, pre-COVID, we really didn't have these types of meetings where it's okay to have virtual meetings or whatever it is that we did, right? It wasn't the norm. And so I was working out of my house, and as I'm folding my laundry, I'm thinking to myself, I should be doing more. But it was very, very tough for me because I needed a lot more direction in what I should be doing to be able to seed my career. And that was really when I decided that I was going to enter into the CCIM mentorship program, which, by the way, is instituted by our district, which you've been president, and I'm going to be president next year. And that was really where I started to understand what I would need to be able to build my career in commercial real estate. Now, mind you, I was already being mentored by, again, Ben Crosby, because of this portfolio that we had been representing. But still, as trying to build my business and building my pipeline, it was a very, very tough transition for me, because I was a very successful residential real estate broker prior to transitioning into commercial real estate. So how I overcame that was just strategically thinking that I needed more help, like you had alluded to earlier. Yep. And that's how I got further along in my business. Thankfully with Robin Webb, who was my mentor in NAR RealVest, and those along the way that sort of helped me through that transition period.
I am excited to ask you this, Veronica, because I'm curious about this from every woman entrepreneur, somebody who's got a lot of influence and strength. What advice do you give yourself when you're struggling?
Well, thank you so much for that question. I think that's a very thought-provoking question, especially for me. And I'll tell you that just yesterday, I asked myself that very question. And I realized that the one thing that I do and that I've always done and that I keep reminding myself to do when I'm struggling is to pray. And it might be such a simple answer to your question, but the truth is, praying allows me to see beyond myself and to rely on someone greater than me, and to let go of the control of outcomes. And I will tell you that it's helped me through a lot of struggles. I'm an immigrant from the Philippines, and it is not an easy thing when you have to uproot yourself and move to another country and try to figure out how to to enter into another society and hope that you would see success in your life, in your personal life, and your career. But prayer has done that for me. And so whenever I have the struggle, I just remind myself that things are out of my control and that there's a greater being up there, my God, who I pray to. And I let go and give it up to him. Because if I am very aware and sensitive to listening in rather than listening to the noise, I think I find my North Star. So thank you
Mhm.
for that question. I love it. And it gave me an opportunity to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart.
I would just like to ask you your big why. What drives you to do what you do? We so benefit from your talents here on the podcast. What drives you here? So
Well,
love
that's
to
a
know.
very good. That's a great question, and thank you, of course, for asking that question. It's probably the first time that somebody had asked me this question, so it made me pause for a minute. But I will tell you that my why is whoever is out there on the other side of the podcast, and I say that because I've already shared the story of how my young 21-year-old daughter had some visits from her girlfriends who shared with me that they don't have anything that they can pull up from the internet with regards to women and to be motivated as young women because we do have challenges that are unique to men. And I don't care what people say, men and women, they're equal. We're not. We're not the same. And so my why for the podcast is really to be able to share stories like yours. People like you are so very encouraging, so very inspiring. And I thought, you know what, if I can bring the most influential and most successful women on this show, be able to just share your story, someone out there who is just maybe at a time where they needed to hear you say that kindness is is very important, that it would have influenced an outcome for them. I think that is my why.